Today we are going to discuss here about budget private schools while the new education policy is being drafted.
Government spending is declining because of the structural adjustment program that we had signed on, right? While the literacy rates are actually rising at the fastest rate than ever has been in the history of India. How is that possible? I think answer to that puzzle is actually budget private schools.
The regulatory regime that we have, the environment that we have, the schooling that we provide our children is not working. The issue of choice is becoming more and more important. School vouchers have been talked about. Parth and I have spoken at many different forums on this, and I'm a strong proponent of it. I'm a strong proponent that the money that we are spending as a country and as states, that money, instead of perpetuating vested interests that are operating these suboptimal government primary schools, should be put into the hands of parents linked to their children's education. It doesn't mean eliminating government schools. It means forcing competition. It means giving choice to parents.
What the government is spending, only below 4% of the GDP on education. And they say that they will be able to eradicate your illiteracy by 2020, 2021. Do you think that is practical? Not practical. Without the participation of the budget schools, this kind of a laudable objective of the government shall never be realized.
स्कूलों की भी पूरी गिनती सामने नहीं है, जैसे अभी इन्होंने बताया कि आधार कार्ड से जब लिंक किया तो 4.5 लाख बच्चे फर्जी मिले। तो वो बच्चे कहाँ थे? वो बच्चे बजट प्राइवेट स्कूल्स में थे हरियाणा के अंदर। जितने से जमींदार से एक्वायर किया है लैंडलॉर्ड से, उतने रेट टू रेट स्कूल वालों की लॉटरी निकाले और उनको लैंड दे दे। वहां तो ऑक्शन करते हैं 30-30, 40-40, 50-50 करोड़ में जब वो साइट जाती है, उसके बाद स्कूल को कहते हैं आपने नो प्रॉफिट नो लॉस पे स्कूल चलाना है। कि आप तो स्कूल से प्रॉफिट कमाए, आप स्कूल से CLU ले, आप स्कूल से बिजली जो है वो कमर्शियल ले।
We've realized that if you have a company, and I think Parth, you also mentioned this earlier, your level of governance increases tremendously. Your level of transparency increases tremendously. You're under the control of the registrar of companies. You have to have meetings. Whereas a trust in a society, though some of us may find it beneficial for our structures, is very opaque. And you don't really need to do anything. You just have to have the legal entity and then you carry on your business. Problem starts when you want to expand, when you want to get private investment. So the one suggestion that I have is, to the extent possible, if Haryana can do it, I think other states should follow a for-profit structure model.
Our goal was really that can we develop a more structured approach to develop regulations, and we finally came to the framework that constituted of 3 areas. We said we look at ease of opening a school, we look at operational autonomy, and we look at accountability and transparency.
The education decision taker, it could be a education minister, it could be the education bureaucrat who makes the policy. It's either made on the basis of the hunch of that decision taker or on political expediency, what is expedient in terms of political gains and the vote bank politics, or education policy is made on the basis of ideology. Typically, education policy is not made based on evidence. If the fee levels are lower than the per pupil expenditure in the government school system, that is one way of saying that, okay, if the fee is lower than the government school per pupil expenditure, then it's a budget private school. About 80% of private schools' fee is lower than the per pupil expenditure in the different states of India.
Despite the evidence, governments, media, and even academia do not acknowledge the success and potentialities of budget private schooling in our country. UNESCO in 2004 reports that globally 2,500 million children are functionally illiterate and enumerate, despite 50% of them having spent at least 4 years in school.
There's variability in the school, there's huge amount of variability. So even if you have a very expensive school, sometimes it does not mean that it's going to have every teacher being fantastic. That doesn't happen. It means that there's going to be some good teachers and some not so good teachers. It means that some children are going to be doing really well and some are not doing that well. There's going to be a bell-shaped curve pretty much in every school, and that's very curious. So there's a question for us about what is it that people really want when they say quality? When are we looking at what is acceptable across the world, which is that if I'm paying a fees and I'm a child coming into your school, should I be getting what everybody else gets?
We had our own methods and innovation of teaching, and if you look at the entire gamut of our thought leaders, you start from Bipin Chandra Pal, Gijubai Badeka, Sri Aurobindo, Sister Nivedita, the mother herself in Pondicherry, J. Krishnamurti. Each one has left behind a very distinct and magnificent corpus of the experimentations that they undertook in Indian conditions with Indian students and over a period of 6 decades.
हमारा बजट कम होता है, परंतु हम किसी रिच स्कूल के पुअर कजन नहीं हैं. हमने तैयार करा गाइडेड डिस्कवरी, वेयर द नॉलेज विल बी डिस्कवर्ड बाय चाइल्ड अंडर गाइडेंस ऑफ टीचर. टीचर उसको सिर्फ फैसिलिटेट करेगा और बच्चा उसमें नॉलेज निएगा, और अगर लगता है टीचर को ये सही नहीं ले रहा, ही विल टेक हिम आउट, गिव हिम वर्कशॉप, अगेन लीव हिम देयर ओनली कि भैया स्टार्ट करो.
Each academy is managed by an academy manager who has a smartphone. Every morning when the teacher walks into the academy manager's smartphone, which is the only device which is connected to the internet, syncs with the teacher computers, and that's how teachers mark their attendance every morning. And the beginning of every week, when the academy manager's phone and the teacher computers sync, we have the teacher's lessons downloaded for the entire week.
We try to develop the scientific temperament of the students through use of, again, project method. What we've done is we have mapped all these projects to the curriculum, and we try to cover as much as we can in the curriculum in that particular way.
There is really hunger for good education in this country. Any country cannot be global power unless until that country is educated.